I know that I want to die. I know that I want to get out of here, but I also, there's something here that I'm not ready to leave yet.
Challenges. There's no denying we all have them. These are the stories of ordinary people facing extraordinary challenges and emerging better on the other side. I'm Cheryl Hunter. As a teenager, I was kidnapped and held captive. Today, my mission is to let you know that you are bigger than anything that can ever come your way. Join us for these extraordinary stories and be reminded that your true nature is to rise. Have you ever longed for a second chance, like a full-on life do-over? If so, meet Dina Proctor. She dug herself out of the deepest, darkest hole and demonstrates for each of us that it's abso-freaking-lutely possible to do the same. I'm gonna stand back now and let her tell you her amazing story in her own words. Tell me your remarkable story.
Kind of, I guess, came to a turning point. I was 32 years old. I was horribly addicted to alcohol, and I had planned a date to take my own life. People around me have this sense of happiness and well-being, and I always felt like that was missing. And I describe it like an emotional black hole. I just had this emptiness emotionally inside of myself. In my 20s, I went to get help for it. I wanted to figure out what was wrong, and I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. Medication after medication, I tried all of the traditional medications. A lot of time in depression groups and healing groups and in group therapies and stuff. And nothing was really hitting what it needed to hit. I didn't feel like anything was helping me improve. And at the same time, throughout my 20s, I was also doing things that I thought would make me feel better. Guy after guy, job after job, new car after new car, nothing was working. Going to bed at night, and lots of people pray for health and happiness as they fall asleep, and I would just pray, I just don't want to wake up in the morning. Just please take me. Like, if this is gonna be what it is, just take me. I moved into a new living situation with people who kind of like to party and drink, and trying to fix inside of myself. There was a solution in that kind of partying and drinking and alcohol that maybe wouldn't have appealed to me had I not been so emotionally desperate. I started drinking every single night, and then I would drink so heavily that in the morning I would feel so terrible. The only thing that would make me feel better was to have another drink. And then a few hours later, I would need to have another drink to kind of ward off that horrible detox feeling. I deteriorated on another kind of emotional, spiritual, moral level. I was waking up next to people that I couldn't even remember their name. I was waking up at different houses in different cities. I didn't know where I was. And I started stealing money. I didn't need to steal money, but it was just something that I was getting a little naughty kick out of. I couldn't look myself in my own eyes in the mirror because I couldn't believe who I was becoming. There was no reason that I should be this mess, this disaster as a human being, and that's exactly how I felt I was.
But what was the turning point, Dina?
So when I planned that date, it was going to be a Saturday, and I decided that on a Sunday evening previous, so like 6 days later, that was gonna be my suicide Saturday. But that Sunday night, I thought, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this week. How am I going to get from day to day to day, 6 days later, until I can finally get everything in order so I can take my own life?
What happened? I mean, obviously you're here.
It occurred to me that there was an addiction recovery center down the street from where I was living. My idea was, if I go in there and just see what real drunks are like, that'll make me feel better about myself. So I went, and I remember just sitting in the back of that room, and no one asked me to share anything. No one asked me to share even my name. And the women would come up to me and just gently brush my hair away and bring me tissues and just say, keep coming back, keep coming back. And that's all they would say, but there was something about that human touch that was the love that these people I didn't even know were expressing towards me. Was just one of the most meaningful things. All the guys I had dated, all the things I had done, all the people I had spent time with, these women who didn't even know me, holding my hands and brushing my soaking wet hair from my tears back from my face and telling me it gets better, it gets better. I didn't believe them, but I felt like they cared about me. And then Saturday morning, it was Suicide Saturday, that was my planned date. And I woke up that morning and I went to that center and I went to the meeting. I saw those women and none of them knew any of my plans, you know? But I just thought, I know that I want to die. I know that I want to get out of here, but there's something here that I'm not ready to leave yet. And so I lived like that for 3 months, saying, not today, but I can always just kill myself tomorrow. I can always kill myself tomorrow. And in that horrible, self-loathing, devoid, empty state, that gave me comfort of I can just get out of here tomorrow. You know, that would give me comfort. That would be the one thing that would help me to fall asleep, was to think I could kill myself tomorrow. And I did not quit drinking. I was going to the Addiction Recovery Center. Nobody told me to quit drinking. Everybody kind of left me alone and let me sit in the back. And it was not my plan to quit drinking because I couldn't see my life without this. That was the only thing that numbed feelings I had inside. About the 3rd month mark, I was sitting at the recovery center, one of the meetings, and this woman came and sat up to share to the group, and she shared her story. Her story was worse than mine. And she looked so happy and put together and confident. And I thought, I want that. Whatever she's got, I want that. So I went up to her after and I said, listen, I haven't quit drinking. I don't know what I want to do, but I like you.
So what did she teach you?
You know, it's funny, it wasn't anything that I expected. The first thing that she told me to do was that I needed to learn to meditate. And so her specific instruction to me was to sit still every morning for 20 minutes and focus on my breathing. I thought I should be hitting pillows with baseball bats and writing letters and not mailing them. But she was really good with me. When I balked at her suggestion, she didn't even blink. She just looked me straight in the eyes and said, your way doesn't seem to be working. Why don't you try mine? I'm going to try it because this is the only thing she's telling me to do, and I like her. So the first...
I'm going to be breathing anyway.
I might as well sit... That's exactly right. I might as well do it her way. Set a timer and sit the way she's telling me to sit. My body would start shaking and sweating, just in an uncontrollable way. And after about 3 minutes, and the negative thoughts, you know, when I would be still, it would become intolerable for me to sit still any longer than that, and I would just have to get up onto the next thing in my day. But it would nag at me later. You know, the straight A student was back in there saying, that was the only thing she told you to do and you couldn't even do that. So what I would do was 3 minutes several times a day so that by the end of the day, I could tell her that I made her quota.
Beautiful.
I thought she would be mad at me, but she was really good. She said, whatever you can do is great, just keep it consistent. And you and I are both kind of passionate, Cheryl, about transformation and understanding how the mind and the body and the brain work together in order to create transformation in a human being. And what I understand now is that I was literally rewiring the way that I thought, the neural pathways in my brain. There was a healing going on in that stillness that I would find just 3 minutes a couple of times a day. And so that was the underlying key to everything transforming in my life.
Now, if you were going to give this away to someone who's facing a challenge, somebody who's dealing with something difficult in their own lives, what would you say is the roadmap to resilience that you have discovered that you can now pay forward to others?
I love that, the roadmap to resilience. Beautiful. On my roadmap, I would advise people, first of all, to reach out and ask for help. You know, I had so much shame around what I was dealing with that I couldn't even really ask anybody to help me. But that's what the key was. You know, there are experts out there that can help, and there are also people that have walked that path ahead of you that can reach their arms back and help you along too.
I have this notion, which is that those things that have been our biggest challenge can be truly our biggest gift. I wanted to hear what you think about that.
What I experienced, I wouldn't wish on anyone on this planet, but I also wouldn't change a minute of it. Because if it hadn't happened, I'm living a dream now. I love sharing this. I love helping people. I love being a source of a modality that can help people change their lives. And if I hadn't hit the rock bottom that I had hit, I never would have discovered this avenue of transformation. I never would have known that these short focused breaks throughout the day could be so transformative. And so without that, there would be an emptiness inside of me. And so I don't want to relive it. I don't want anyone to ever have to go through that, but I also wouldn't change it. It was the key in where I am today.
Most often, we try to hide those things about us that we think aren't perfect. And I just want to acknowledge you for your candor and transparency, because you being willing to be authentic about what your journey really was and not try to sugarcoat it and paint it up to look nice. It's what offers such a difference for people. It really is the roadmap. Like we looked at what your roadmap for resilience is, it's you and your journey. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Come back next time as I introduce you to another outstanding human who's just faced a huge challenge and come through bigger and better on the other side. They remind each of us that our true nature is to rise.